Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the link. We're going to go straight into our Zoom room where we are going to talk to Donna and David Espinosa serving their second term in hotel quarantine. But before, when we last talked to them, I think it was back in August, and they were serving time over at the Ocean View Hotel and having some issues there. They're now over at the Dusit, I believe, Outrigger for their second term of quarantine. So good morning, Mr. Espinosa.
Nobody said?
Yes, good morning. Alpha Day.
Good morning.
Good morning. So,
Good morning, this is Sabina.
good morning.
Ma-
So you guys,
Donna.
yes. So you guys are back in quarantine? Did you guys just come back from an appointment
Yeah.
off island?
Honolulu.
Half a day. You went to, what did he say? You guys went to Hawaii. Was it for another medical appointment?
A medical problem for heart and high blood pressure.
So this is part of your periodic medical checkups in Hawaii?
Yes.
Okay. And so tell me about how long you've been there in quarantine.
How long you been in Honolulu?
1 day and a half.
So you went to Hawaii for a day and a half for your medical checkup for your heart issues and high blood pressure. You arrived back to Guam, and you've been at the Outrigger, right?
How many days of quarantine? It's supposed to be 14 days, but I don't know now. How many days?
Well, it's still 14, but you can test out at day 6, and if it's negative, you could be released on day 7. Were you guys not able to get a medical exemption? Or did you apply for a medical exemption?
Oh, released in 7 days. Well,
So,
depend on my virus test. If I got negative or positive.
have you had any issues while you've been at the quarantine?
Issue.
Issues. Have you ever had issues here at the hotel?
What the-
Have issues? Do you have issues here?
How
Oh,
was your
I
stay?
got something to tell you.
Okay.
Okay, I still don't understand when the people got problem on his health. Because I got problem. Every time I arrive in Guam, they put me on the hotel. The problem is my diabetic, high blood, my circulation of my feet, everything. And the problem is the food here is not, they're not giving me for my diabetes food. All I'm eating here is too sweet. I cannot control that. Now it's because I'm not at home. I'm in the hotel. It's what they want to give me is not what I want. But what I understand is if I ask them to give me what I want, but they don't do that. They give the patient is what they want. Do you understand, Mr. Salas?
Yes, I understand. Prior to arriving, Donna, maybe you can answer. Did you guys fill out any forms about his dietary restrictions or needs? Or-
Yes. We did that when we first landed, and we spoke to the National Guards about it. About my dad's conditions and what food he can eat and what he can't eat. So that one was very clear. But when we got to the hotel, it's every time breakfast comes or lunch and dinner, they would serve him, another kind of food. Instead of soft food, the food would be hard. And every time when we eat, we feel sick. My father will be, headache, dizzy, stomach ache, and especially me too. It's not, the food that we eat here, even if we don't like it, I mean, we got no choice. But every time we eat the food, the smell is not too good. It makes us want to throw up, and even up to now, I'm still sick. So, like with stomach ache, dizziness, yeah, it's terrible.
And so you reported this to the National Guard about his.
Yes, I also reported to the front desk and the
Right.
National Guard, but the National Guard's not, you know,
They cannot do nothing.
they can't do anything about it because they're not the cook.
Right. So you guys are kind of left eating whatever it is that they give you then. I mean, there's nobody
Yes.
else that. What about public? Is there a representative from public health there that you can address these
Well,
concerns
I
to?
spoke with the nurse. The nurses, I mean, they're very great. I mean, they always call to see, check on my dad and to check on myself too, because, we were feeling sick. And I told them about the food and stuff, with the smell. So, I mean, they're pretty great. They even also come to our door and, they'll take our blood pressure, our oxygen. And yeah, pretty much they're very great. I mean, the National Guards too, this year they're pretty much polite and very much respectful. So, I thank the National Guard officer. Good job in training your National Guards because they're pretty good, this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that the problem and the issue is the cook, with the food and stuff. The more we eat, the more we get sick and feel sick.
Have you? Did you guys apply for or look into applying for an exemption to
No, we
quarantine?
didn't.
I see.
No.
When I talk to her.
Hmm?
Well, Mr. Stardust, are you still there?
Jason, I think he's addressing you.
Okay, a couple of days, they gave me a vegetable. You may not believe it. I never tried a vegetable hard like a rock.
What kind of vegetable was it?
It's a green beans and some green pepper, bell pepper, red pepper, all kind of onion like that. But if you're a cook, you have to be like a cook. You're not going to be like a crook because you're a cook, right? I'm a very strict in military.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem here is not what we want, is what they want. That's the problem here in the hotel. We got a beautiful hotel. This is nice hotel. This is my second time. The first hotel is bad, but second hotel is very good. I think the governor doing a good job because he found a good hotel.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem now is the patient is physically medical problem. They have to treat him on the right way. It's not what I want to say is what I want you to know what's happening on this hotel.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask for toilet paper, they give it to you. But if you ask for something to eat, they will not give it to you. You see, I want to eat pancakes every morning. But the problem is they gave me some lunch, breakfast, lunch, like hard meat. Like potatoes that they never peel the potatoes. They just cook it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the way how the recipe card said. You have to peel the potato. Because that's nasty if you give the people to eat. You have to peel it. Just like the apple. You cannot eat the seed of the apple. You have to peel the apple to eat good. Just like the potato. But they gave me the whole potato. That's a nasty food. I'm very strict on food. That's why 42 years diabetic. That's why I take care of myself for the food I'm eating. That's why the doctor said, It's not how many food going to your mouth. It's what kind of food. Do you understand, Mr. Saunders?
I hear you.
Miss Sabrina.
Sabina,
Yeah, I hear you, sir.
I'm sorry your name, but I see you every time in the TV. I know you're a smart woman. I know that.
Thanks, Mr. Espinosa. So aside from the food, everything else is okay over there at the quarantine hotel?
Everything else okay for you?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff to tell you, but I cannot talk on the TV all the time because people might be surprised.
Well,
But I want this problem to be solved for another patient. You see, some people when they come from off island, they die here on the hotel.
Mr.
That's
Espinosa,
why I'm still alive because I pray every morning. I ask Jesus to help me. And I tell Jesus, thank you, my Father, for making me alive. Every morning I tell my Father, Jesus, I believe in God. I don't believe in money. I believe in God. That's why I'm alive now. Especially I have to take my shot every week at the Naval Hospital every week. Now I miss my shot for my diabetic.
will they
They
let
cannot do something because this is rules and regulation. But they should understand that I need to get shot every week.
Donna, does the hotel or the public health know that he needs to get his shot? And will they release him to get
Yes,
a shot?
but there's nothing they can really do because of the coronavirus going around. They don't want to come here and they end up getting the virus. So pretty much that's what they've been telling us.
So they're saying that they will not allow him to leave at least to go get his shot?
Right, correct, because of of the coronavirus.
Well, we've had other people who've left the quarantine facility for medical appointments.
Right, and I even spoke with the nurses at public health and FHP. They would come by and I will ask them, explain to them. But my father cannot be released until he is negative.
And he has to wait until day 6. Is that for the
Yes.
test? I see. Well,
I got another problem to tell you again. Is every time I get mad, my heart pumps so fast. That's why I have to go back to Hawaii again for 2-week monitor. They have to know why my heart pumping too fast. You have to be monitored for 2 weeks. It's not one day. They will not figure out why you have to be 2 weeks.
when do you guys plan on heading back then, Donna?
Yeah, my doctor secretary trying to call the VA to let him understand the problem is to know why my heart pumping too fast. I have to be monitored for 2 weeks. Then they'll find out what the problem. They cannot find out now because I have to be monitored for 2 weeks in Hawaii. When they said, then I asked approval for the VA in January 25th. We don't know yet because I got an appointment here in Guam. Especially my ears, I got infection, both ears. It's very, very bad. My ears now draining. The water coming out of my ears, I think very stink. That's why I'm still alive, because my Father Jesus helping me now. Nobody helping me except Jesus. People got to believe in prayer. If you don't believe in prayer, you're dead. Jesus will take you. You have to pray. That's why we got all these World War III stubborn. We're going to die for stubborn. Because the people don't pray. All they think about money, money, money. That's not right. You have to pray to God. Because that's why God pissed off. This is World War III. This is worse. Very, very bad. It's not how many, what you call it, the faith, this one. You, even though you were 1 million faith, if Jesus said, come here, you better come. God, the one that's taking you, He's not taking from the virus, from the, what you call this again? This, I don't believe in this, I believe in God. If I'm gonna die, God will take me. The virus will not take me. You have to have bad kidney, bad liver, bad heart. The virus can take you. But other than that, if you got good system in your body, the virus will not take you.
Can I ask you something? Just to follow up on the food situation, was anybody allowed in your family to drop off food to you guys?
Yes, they are allowed to.
Okay. All right. So
And I believe the policy is one visitor per day. They can do that once per day.
a visitor to
sorry?
quarantine?
But you can have somebody drop it off at the front desk once per day. Like you
Oh.
can't have people throughout the day, but once per guest.
Okay.
Yes. My family will be dropping some food today for my father and myself too.
hmm How difficult has this whole thing been? Second time in quarantine, and I mean
I'm sorry?
how difficult has it been? This is the second time you guys have been in quarantine. You've been through it before. Is it better than the last time, or?
Well, I would rate it 1 to 5. I would say like 4. And the reason why, because when the first day quarantine here, and at Dustin Hotel, there was no microwave. We had to request for one. And then one of the National Guards, brought the microwave to us. And then, at the back, the plug is not really too good. Like the wires are all showing. And when you open up the microwave, it's kind of like hard to open. So I would say the microwave is broken because it's not supposed to be hard to open, especially for the patient. And the patient's going to try to open the microwave. It's very hard. So other than that, it's just actually the food, the smell of the food. And the food, when it's hard and stuff, you can't even chew on the potatoes or the meat. It kind of hurt my tooth at the back because when I bite down on the meat, it was hard. And then we did request for soft foods. So I really don't know what's going on downstairs, in the kitchen.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Donna and David Espinosa, and sharing your story over there at Quarantine Hotel over at the Dusit. You guys take care. Any final comment, Mr. Espinosa?
Any other comments?
Yeah, I got one more comment again. I want the people of Guam to understand. We have to pray. That's the problem. People got to pray. They need to go out and have a good time. Because that's why Jesus wants. We have to pray. Ask Him for help.
All right.
You cannot ask the President of the United States help because he is the one to pray too. Even the governor praying too. Everybody got to pray.
All right. Thank you, Mr.
All right,
Espinosa.
Christina.
Show us your mask. Show us your mask. Show us your mask.
Your mask. Show them your mask. Put it on.
Huh?
Put your mask on.
Yeah, I got here. Where I put my hearing aid?
There you go. All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Espinosa. Hope you have a better day, all right? Esta?
Have a good day.
Goodbye.
All right, take care.
Sabrina, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, that was Donna and David Espinosa. It's their second time in government quarantine. The first time we spoke with them was back in, I want to say August.